Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Nano eLearn, Learning Made Easy. Today I am going to start my Selenium Tutorials video series. Part of my first session, I am going to explain about Introduction to Selenium. These are the topics I am going to cover in today's session. What are the drawbacks of manual testing? Why do we need test automation? When and when not to automate the test? What is Selenium and Selenium suite of tools? Why the name called Selenium? And what are the advantages of Selenium over Qtp, which is now called as UFT? Let me start with the first topic. What are the drawbacks of manual testing? Manual testing requires more time and resources. Also, sometimes both are required. The accuracy is less using the manual testing. It's always difficult and impracticable to compare huge amount of data, but it's very simple in case of test automation. Also, it is time consuming in case of manual testing, and it is always challenging to execute same test again and again. It also becomes tiresome to execute same set of tests for every release. The scope for manual testing is very limited, whereas the scope is more in case of test automation. Why do we need test automation? Since it increases the test coverage, that is the coverage of test cases or tests, the test automation saves more time to run repeatable tests. Thereby it increases the speed, efficiency and also quality. Also it saves number of resources, money required to perform the testing. And also it is helpful to test very complex web applications. When to automate the test? When the application is stable and no changes are done more frequently. When there is a possibility of highly repeatable manual testing. And the test cases we want to automate are feasible for automation. If the automated test cases will be used for longer duration. Also, when the return on investment is required. When skilled resources of sufficient programming knowledge are available. When not to automate. When the tests which are run only once, automation is not required. When application to test is not stable. Also, when the tests are needed quicker to execute, even in this case, automation is not required. It is not always suggestible to automate the tests during usability testing, that is UI-based tests. When those tests make more time to automate than those to execute them manually. Also, for those tests that need to run as soon as possible, in all these cases, there is no need for test automation. Let us see what is Selenium. Basically, it is a open source, that is a free test automation tool that can be used to test only web-based applications. And this is a software released under Apache License 2.0. That is, it is a permissible free software license written by Apache Software Foundation, which is abbreviated as ASF. Used to test web applications, and also the test can run on various browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Edge, Safari and Opera browsers. It also supports multiple operating systems, that is platforms like Windows, Mac OS and Linux. It supports multiple languages for test automation like Python, Java, C#, Ruby, JavaScript, PHP, Groovy, Scala and Perl. Also the key components of Selenium include Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver and also Selenium Grid. Basically, now the RC, due to its limitations, it is no longer be in use, and it is completely replaced with Selenium WebDriver now. And the most widely used tools or the components part of Selenium include IDE, WebDriver, and Grid in the recent versions. Of all these, IDE is a record and playback tool which has limited functionality, and WebDriver is a powerful tool where it allows the user to write the code, their own code, to develop the tests of various functionalities of a web application. Using this WebDriver, we can also script in various programming languages. It also provides provision for the user to develop scripting in various supported programming languages. And finally, the last component is Selenium Grid, which allows the user to run parallel tests in different machines using different platforms. Basically, the Selenium is originally developed by Jason Huggins in the year 2004 as an internal tool at ThoughtWorks. Why the name called Selenium? Earlier, we have a competitor tool for Selenium known as Qtp. Now, it is owned by HP and now called as UFT, Unified Functional Testing Tool. When it was called as Qtp earlier, it was owned by Mercury before HP, which is a competitor testing tool in the market to Selenium earlier. Mercury is an element used in thermometers usually, which is a poisonous element. When a human being takes it, it kills him. So it is that dangerous when someone intakes it. The name Selenium comes from a joke made by Huggins in an email mocking a competitor named Mercury, saying that you can cure mercury poisoning by taking Selenium supplements. The others that received the email took the name and ran with it. That's how the Selenium came into existence. What are the advantages of Selenium over Qtp? Selenium Advantages of Selenium. It is a free and open source tool. It supports to run tests on various browsers. It supports various operating systems as I just explained. It can run tests even when the browser is minimized. It can run tests on different machines in parallel using using Selenium Grid component. It also supports various mobile devices. And Qtp, what are its drawbacks? It is licensed and commercial tool. It is used to run tests only on IE, Firefox and Chrome browsers. It is limited to only 3 and it cannot be used or supports all other browsers which the Selenium supports. It supports test automation of mobile applications using HP Mobile Center. It can use only on Windows operating system and not all other operating systems like Selenium. Application under test must be visible on desktop. With the use of Quality Center, now called ALM, it can execute tests in parallel, but the ALM is now owned by HP and it is also a licensed tool. So, due to all these limitations, now majority, that is around 70 to 75% of users in the current IT market today are shifting completely to Selenium or Qtp because of all these advantages of Selenium over Qtp. Thanks for watching my video. Happy learning. Please don't forget to subscribe and share my channel. Have a good day.